friends, you are back to M.Raven's Rambling Podcast, and you will see again we are with the wonderful Tamsyn. And yeah, we're recording it in the same day, so you might notice makeup, hair, all kind of looks the same. Who cares? It is what it is. So this is our part 2.
Yeah.
And we're talking today around your favourite subject in the world, plus size fashion. So in our last one, we covered the slimming world and the fat phobia, and we're going to move away from that this time. So how did you get into, we spoke in our last podcast around how you got into doing kind of the comedy skits on TikTok with the kind of slimming world thing, but how did it then go into the plus size play? I think you've got 22 parts plus a bridal one out now.
Yeah, well, it was just like, I think I'm on part, I think 22 I'd be on next, and I've done the snag one yesterday.
Snag, we do love
which
a bit
is
of
super
snag.
exciting. Yeah, so that's my first sort of like paid advert, and I was like, oh
wow.
snag.
Oh,
so that was super exciting. But yeah, again, honestly, it was just an accident. I just happened to have this idea, just ran with it, and then it was the same sort of thing of like, everyone was like, oh my god, yeah, this is exactly what I think when I go shopping. And then I was like, well, I'll do a part 2, and I think I got to like part 4, and I was like, do people still want this? And they were like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, I'll do another. And it's just, I've carried on going based on how responsive the comments have been, and I ended up getting to like 22 parts.
I can't wait for your next ones to come out. I mean, I sat and watched, I think it was 2021 and 22 the other day, and I'm just like, I can literally pick the brands you're talking about. I've been on a no buy clothes for the whole of 2021, so I've come into 2022 and I'm like, some of my wardrobe needs updating. I've been wearing that for 4 years now, and it's kind of done. I'm bored of it, so I've donated or passed on or whatever. And I'm kind of now going through that whole palaver of trying to buy. And it was quite interesting that I was sat with a friend yesterday. We went into Bristol, and I thought, before we decided we were going to Bristol, I sat on Google and looked at where are the best plus size high street shops. And I found an article written March 2021 that went out in the Independent. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a kind of a random article, but it was the top 10 high street plus size shops. Every single one of them was online. Every single one of them was an online shop. And it was ASOS was number 1. Then it had River Island, which go up to a size 26, but not in store. New Look, I'm lucky if I can even find a curved section in New Look these days. H&M, not on store, they don't. And it's all like, literally just put out the 10 best high street shops for plus size, and none of them exist. You even put Evans in there, who haven't existed for 5 years in high street stores. They've existed in Tesco for a little longer, but they don't exist anymore. So why are you putting them out when it's all online? Do you feel that they're trying to keep plus size off the high street?
Yeah, absolutely, because it doesn't fit their sort of their look, their aesthetic, their desired custom. I think the majority of companies now, like New Look and all the rest of it, only do plus size sections sorry,
that's right,
to kind of like save face, because you know that looks like the good thing, and it looks like, you know, oh, we're going to be body inclusive and size inclusive, but they're not doing it because they want to be inclusive. They're doing it so people don't hate on them and people still shop with them. And so thinner people can like look at a brand and be like, oh look, they do all sizes, not realizing that they don't, and that we're very much an afterthought, if that. So I think a lot of time it is even
they don't do it very well.
Yeah, it's just all to save face. It's just to look after themselves, to look like they're being inclusive when they're not.
And it is soul destroying. I mean, to find that you can't go, and I said we went to Bristol and there is a Yours Clothing in Bristol. And I walked in and it was like tunics to one side and baggy leggings to the other.
Yeah.
I literally walked through and there was a couple in there and the woman gave me the most filthy look. And it was like, oh, great. So I'm walking through where everything is yet again shapeless and baggy and covered in tinsel. I don't want it. I just want shaped things that match my body type. And it's almost impossible.
Yeah, it's frustrating because when I've gone into yours, I feel it's so crammed of everything. And it's like they do have some nice pieces, but they're overshadowed by this like river of tunics and horrible sort of things. And if that's what someone likes, that's great. And if that's their style, that's great. And I implore them to go and wear what they want. But it's just the lack of sort of variation, and in fact it's so separate from like mainstream fashion.
And their mannequins,
that's what really annoys me.
Their mannequins are still normal size mannequins. They're not plus size mannequins, and they don't have styling options. I think so many more plus size people would feel better and more confident in themselves and in their fashion and try more things if they knew how to style it. I mean, when you're given a pair of leggings and a baggy tunic, not many people would sling a belt round it going, oh, well, I can pull myself in here, because we're not taught. You know, you can go and watch all these runway shows and they're all skinny people, even if the designers aren't. The aesthetic of a skinny person, so it's cinching belts and this, that, and the other. But when it comes into plus size, they don't think about showing how to wear those types of items.
Yeah, exactly.
Better, or actually, this is a shapeless dress, but to make it fit you if you're smaller under the bust, or if you're actually hourglass and you have a smaller hip just above the hips, this is where you could wear a belt, and put it on the mannequins and show how it would work. They don't seem to want to educate. It's just well, we've done plus size, what more do you want?
Well, they want to cover us up. That's what it is. They don't want us to have a shape because our shape's so horrifying. They just want to cover it up. Hide the lumps and bumps and, you know, stick a butterfly on it and hope for the best.
Nobody wants.
You know, they want us to, I mean, it's the same thing. It's like, it's this assumption that being fat is miserable. So they're assuming that all fat people want to lose weight or need to lose weight, and all fat people are miserable and just hate their own bodies and don't, you know, want to hide from the world. And it's like, well, that's not the reality of it. It's like, I hate to say it, but I'm turning 40 this year. I'm done with kind of pretending I'm something I'm not.
Baby, got 5 years on you, love. You're all right.
But it's like, I don't want to. I spent all my 20s, all my late teenage years, all my early 30s feeling miserable and uncomfortable, and I don't want to do it anymore. And I refuse to. Like, if someone doesn't like how my body looks, that's their problem. It's not mine, you know. And I love shopping and I love having new clothes, but it is so disheartening when you go on a high street, because I wouldn't buy anything from the high street. They either don't fit in it, and I don't trust H&M, I'm sorry. Even when I was like a smaller size, I barely fitted into their stuff when I was a size 14. I don't believe that they're plus size range.
I don't think I've ever owned anything by H&M that's been decent plus size. I think I went in some bits and it was just like, you're kidding, this is not. I think I was a size 16 at the time, and I'm like, no.
I don't trust them. And I wouldn't, you know, I haven't got the money to waste. I haven't got the money to spend. So I'm not going to spend it on a company that I know I've had problems with sizing previously when I wasn't this big. I'm not going to waste my time with them now.
I do find as well with like companies like Yours Clothing, they'll find one item and they'll make it in 30, 40 colours that nobody ever wants. Or it's, as you've alluded to in many of your videos, which is why I love it, the pointless embellishments. With girls, we want to wear, I mean, myself, I'm a plain black girl. I don't wear prints unless it's kind of bedtime t-shirts, or occasionally I've had something with spots on it. But in general, I'm a plain black girl. And I like a bit of lace. I like a bit of layering. I love velvet. but I can't cope with pattern. Pattern does my head in.
Yeah.
But I find it's all, the colours are either hard to find in black or only come in black. There's no, actually, we've done this in a pastel set of shades in 3 shades, and we've done it in brights in 3 shades, and we've done it in darks in 3 shades. It seems to be, it's either in black and white, or it's every colour under the rainbow that you could ever think of,
Yeah.
never put on your body. I mean, how do you?
It's like one extreme from the other.
Yeah, I mean, I walked into Primark the other day, and it's all pastels, and I'm like, no, literally, there's probably 4 black things in there, and they're all suitcases, and I'm like, well, I know I'm big, but a suitcase is not going to do it for me, not with it. And I know fashion goes through trends, and I've followed fashion since. I've followed designers since I could put the fashion thing on Sky TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't feel that they make that effort to actually understand what we want to wear. It's all what they think.
No, they don't at all. Yeah. It's like, I think they think we want to hide. They think we want to, you know, sort of try and blend in and hide on lumps and bumps and all the rest of it. It's like, it's no, I want a nice outfit. I want to, you know, if I'm going out with the girls, I want a nice little sexy outfit. If I'm lounging around the house, I want a nice little cute loungewear set. It's, you know, and I think because I've got to that sort of age where you kind of stop caring about other people's opinions so much, I'm more sort of determined to find my sort of dream wardrobe, if you will.
Yeah.
Because I've wasted all that time, even when I've been at home by myself, being uncomfortable and like covering up and all the rest of it. And I was like, nah, I can't. I want to enjoy clothes. I want to enjoy my outfits and stuff like that. And it's so frustrating when you see what, even like yours, when they are a plus size company, they're still doing the same thing that these other high street companies are doing. They're still like trying to, you know, all their models are really thin and the clothes are just not fashionable, or, you know, and it's just like, your sole purpose is to provide for plus size people and you're still not doing it. Like, you can see there's a market there and you're still failing us.
Or they think that because we're on the bigger scale, we want stupid slogans, frills, or glitter, or Disney. What is it with this? You're plus size, you must love Disney. No, I can't stand Disney.
Now,
you know, don't hate on me, but I hate
I loved it. No, that's fair. I love Disney. I've got a Disney tattoo, but it doesn't mean I want to coat myself in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I get with Disney, there's a lot of people who happily would wear t-shirts like all the time, and there are some Disney characters, if I see on a t-shirt, I'm like, I'm having that, but it doesn't mean that I want that all the time. Like, I don't want to go on a night out in a Disney t-shirt, or do you know what I mean? Like, and I love a good slogan t-shirt, but I because I'm sort of more like the alternative way, it tends to be some more of a aggressive's the wrong word, but I don't do the good vibes or, you know, all the positive stuff. I like the funny stuff. And it's just, there's no sort of kind of, we're not treated like real people. And there's no sort of like thinking behind the, you know, oh, well, fat people have different tastes and different styles. It's like, no. They're all tunics with butterflies and glitter, and I like leopard print. I like a bit of leopard print, but it doesn't mean I want it on everything.
Yeah, I mean, I do love on your TikToks where you talk about llamas, butterflies. Oh, you want a bit of alternative? Put a skull with a bow on it, and it's that's not all being alternative. It's about, give me a nice lace, you know, yoke on a blouse. I'm a happy person, but it doesn't mean to say that I want a frill on that yoke and a cold shoulder, or I want fishnet on a jumper. It just,
Yeah.
It's almost as if sometimes they look like they're trying too hard and sometimes they're not trying at all. And the whole, the sequin thing, and I've got Christmas jumpers. Oh my God, plus size Christmas jumpers. Hands off my really? There's a part of me don't want to accentuate at Christmas. It's our chest in people's faces over turkey dinner. You know what I mean?
It's like it's just like making a joke of us even more. It's like, ha ha ha, look at our big boobs, ha ha ha, it's Christmas, ha ha ha. And I'm like, can I not just celebrate Christmas with a tacky Christmas jumper like my mate who's a size 8? Where I have to start commenting on my boobs, making jokes because I'm big. Oh God, it's tiresome. It's so tiresome.
And I do feel, like I say, I went into Primark physically yesterday, and I said to my friend, it's almost like they've got 3 themes in here: tacky, Harry Potter, Disney. There's nothing else. You go into that and everything's got to be Harry Potter, everything's got to be Mickey Mouse, and it's like, I get it. Some people love going to Disney World. They take their kids. They still go to Disney World without young kids. It's not for me. So why should everything be Mickey Mouse? And if that's in Primark, you've then got people going, oh, well, that's what fat people want as well, but we're just going to make it in a bigger size and make it hang off them and make it look like a It's like, no, I don't. I really don't. Or floral. The only thing we are allowed to have is floral. And I remember you saying on one of your videos that you love a good stripy top. I don't know if it was your Shein thing, that you love a good stripy top.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with stripy tops.
Very rarely see plus size stripy tops.
Well, because we're not meant to wear stripes. Because
unless they go up and down, which are no good for anybody because we've got some kind of hyperactive.
But I can't. Sorry, I was just going to say, like, the whole thing about florals, it's like, I understand that people like them, and I would never hate on anyone for liking anything, but just give me something else. Just, even if it's a plain colour, just, I can't do florals. I can't.
They did a really nice dress in yours.
Because I'm going to a wedding next month. And I've got I'm going to end up in a wrap dress because I can't find anything else that's like sort of my style and wedding appropriate. And it's not going to have flowers on it because I can't cope with them.
Leave them to the bride.
It's like I've not even bothered typing in like wedding guest plus size outfit because I know exactly what will come up. And what will come up will not be something that I wear. Someone else may wear it, and that's great. And I'm glad that, you know, people who do like florals have those options. But there's just no sort of understanding that other sort of types of people exist. It's like, well, you have to like florals because it will cover up, it will disguise the fact you're fat. Nothing will disguise the fact I'm fat. It's not some sort of invisible field. I mean, you can see from my chin alone that I'm a fat woman.
Yeah, I'm not going to blend into the wallpaper. But talking about very, very quickly, actually, you were saying, and it was something I appreciated. Now, I don't shop at Shein. I've heard some horrendous things, and that's just my personal opinion to not do that. But I do understand that I'm in a slightly privileged position. I don't have kids. I do have a damn good job, and I can afford to go out. I had one made for me in one of my early videos this year. I actually had a dress made for me, and it was £60. So I can afford to hold back a little bit and then go and buy something and have it made, and that's great. But I appreciate not everyone's in that position.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at brands like Shein that are getting it more right on the plus size than they seem to be getting it wrong, other than their really horrendous differences in some of the sizing that I've seen. Where do you feel around putting someone like Shein that does genuinely have this back end bad rep against somebody like Yours Clothing that's meant to be, and will put on their thing that they're ethical and that they're, you know, specifically plus size only? How do you feel about how you know, this fast fashion, so say shite company does against someone that's specifically for plus size?
I mean, I call Shen shitty Shen. This is from Shen. This is from Shen. If I had a choice, I wouldn't shop at any of these companies at all. I'm very much a sort of, I've gone into my, as I've gone into my goth stage, I seem to have also gone into my eco stage of life. So like we stopped eating meat, we started like changing things around the house that we use. If I had a choice, I would not use any of these companies. I wouldn't use yours, I wouldn't use Shen, I wouldn't use any of them. Because I think they're all as bad as each other. You
But
get
we
a
don't
giant
have that
company.
choice, do we? There's the choices.
Yeah, exactly.
You can go into town and there's 30, 40 different brands of normal size clothing.
Yeah.
That isn't for plus size. So in a way, we're
No.
being forced to use these fast fashion brands.
Yeah.
And we don't want to. We're as ethical. And I know you said in one of your videos, you know, you recycle a lot, you've changed all your products to be eco. You probably do a lot better than I do, to be fair. But how, I don't even know where my question's going with this, I suppose. I mean, how does it make you feel to have to be forced to go down those sorts of routes when you're trying to be more ethical?
It's I mean, it's a bitter pill to swallow, because at the end of the day, I've got clothes to wear. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've got to wear something. I make the conscious decision not, you know, to try and avoid those if I can. And I do shop small. There's a lot of, like, I use Topsy-Curve, I use Creative House.
Yeah.
Things like that. And I love those companies because I just feel they're run by genuine people.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel great, but I'm not in a financial position where I've got the luxury of using all these brands as much as I would like. And I have to have clothes for work, and I have to have clothes to, you know, day-to-day things.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure
it's
turning
just
up to the office naked isn't something that's...
No, I don't think it'd go down well. I really don't.
Could you imagine? Well, we got nothing to wear, so we're coming in naked today. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you know some serious HR issues with that. But like, you know, what can I do? It's like I've got children that I've got to think of before I think of myself.
Yeah.
I've got, you know, bills are going up. I don't have the money because I've not been working for 2 years now. I'm going back into work hopefully this month. So you know, I be sort of, you know, more in a situation I'd like to be where I'm shopping small. So it's just one of those things that, look, I'm doing the best I can in other areas, and I'm making those improvements in other. I did have the money, I still don't have the choice as much as smaller people do.
Yeah. And so how do you feel Shein compares to someone like yours clothing? So yours clothing is plus size kind of focused. Shein is very much everything, and it's dog and the kitchen sink focused. How do you feel they do as a plus size range? Because I've got a friend who does shop from them, and you know, I don't tell her not to. She can't afford it, and she does shop from them. And she said, actually, every time you ask me where did I get that from, or it's Shein.
Yeah,
because that's pretty much the only place I can afford to buy from at the moment. And I can get maybe 5 or 6 items for my money, whereas Killstar would be half an item. She said, so literally, when you've come to me and you've gone, I really like that lace top, where's it from? It's Shein. So how do you feel they compare as a fast fashion brand for plus size, who aren't solely focused on plus size, against someone like yours clothing, who technically are? Do you think they do a better job of it?
Yeah, by a mile. Because a lot of the things on like yours and stuff like that, there's some pieces that I really love, and then there's other pieces I'm like, I'd have to try and work that a certain way to fit in my style. Whereas with like Shannon stuff, I'll see stuff and be like, oh yeah, that's my cup of tea, boosh. And then I'll see something else that's not my cup of tea, and I'm like, well, that's good for people who've got different styles to mine, because they've got their options as well. And it covers, like, I feel it covers more people, whereas yours kind of fall into that category of fat people should look a certain way. So they do a much better job, which is, it's sad really that even a plus size company who advertise as a plus size company still can't do the right thing. We're still having to go onto these really dodgy companies that are probably doing awful things to the workers and the environment, and we still end up having to go there because even the plus size companies are failing us consistently.
And how is their returns policy these days? Because I know previously when I've had stuff, I've ended up pretty much giving it away because you just can't return it, or you return it for that you don't want.
I heard when I posted that Shem video, I got quite a bit of stick for using it. And someone had said, like, even if you return the clothes, it still goes onto landfill. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I was like, I can't be bothered with the returns anyway. So if something doesn't fit me, I just put it on Vinted now.
Yeah.
Because at least I know someone's going to get it and I know where it's going, kind of. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just going on a dump or whatever, and it's probably being sent in this country, so that's going to be better anyway for the environment.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't even bother any of them. I mean, I haven't brought from Boohoo or Pretty Little Thing in a good year probably. But even if I do get anything from like that or ASOS, I don't ever send it back to the company now. I'll just put it on Vinted.
I have bought a couple of bits from ASOS recently, and I bought a really nice, because obviously with Mother's Day and things, I couldn't wear black all day. So I bought a really nice grey, kind of like ballet style, where the cardigan where it actually goes through the hole on the side.
Oh, yeah.
Really nice. I mean, when I got it in the light, I've tried it on at home and it just looked plain grey. And I got it in the light because the sun was shining. It actually had like a blue kind of fluff within the wool.
Oh, nice.
But it just genuinely looks really nice. Can't get a black one for love of the money.
Yeah.
Bought one off Boohoo, which was apparently identical, and it was awful. It had these long wrap things. I'm not sure what you were meant to do with them. It didn't even have the hole that the strap's meant to go through to actually make it fit properly. And it was about this long. Yeah. And I'm like, do you not actually think that you might need to make it a bit longer to go over the boobs, maybe? Or
no, they did not think.
And there was I did manage to get a loungewear set, which the whole point of loungewear is you can wear that and not have to be trussed up in bras and everything else.
Yeah.
And I've bought this cute little bra loungewear set. Again, it's in grey because I couldn't get black. And it's a little knitted short and kind of jumper, but the jumper looks like a cardigan, but the buttons are sewn, they're not.
Yeah.
If you cut the buttons off, you could open it as a cardigan, but there's no buttonholes. Does that make sense? So it's actually sewn.
Yeah.
But if I wore that without a bra, I'd have to tuck my shorts, you know what I mean? Because there's just about this long at the front. I'm like, so I've still got to wear a crop top or something underneath it, or a sports bra, which kind of defeats the purpose. But I bought 2 pairs of trousers. One will make you laugh. I bought a pair of wide leg trousers in jersey fabric. And I always size up because I don't like them being clingy under my belly. Yeah. I reckon I could have pulled them up under my boobs and I'd still have to be 6'10" to make the right length.
Oh gosh.
Ridiculously long. And the other set, they hadn't even stitched. It was almost like, are you sure I didn't buy this from Shein? Because it had a gap about that big where the sheared waistband wasn't attached to the trousers at all.
Wow.
It's like you're almost bored. I mean, I very rarely buy from Boohoo because I don't find there's anything that I like. And I tend to find, and I'm probably gonna get grief for this, I find with Boohoo, it's more the, dare I say it, slut dresses.
Yeah.
For plus size. I don't know how else to term it other than I don't want something that's micro mini and boobs out, but that's all I can find there. It's all, their dresses are really short. I mean, Killstar dresses are really short.
Yeah.
Boohoo dresses are ridiculously short.
Yeah.
At least at ASOS, they might come mid-thigh if you're lucky.
If you're lucky,
I get to find a dress that actually covers my bum. So I don't really kind of shop with them. But then I look at yours clothing and it's tunics, knee length, big pockets that do nothing for the dress. Who needs a t-shirt with a pocket here? What is that pocket for?
No one needs it.
I'm not sure
no
what
one
this
has asked for it. But it's like someone made a comment. Well, quite a few people have commented on videos and said like it's like toddlers' clothing that they've just sized up. And when you talk about little pocket like that, it's like my son is 4 and he has the same little pockets in his t-shirts that you get in yours clothing. I'm like, it's equally. I mean, he's got more use for it than me. At least he puts like food in it and stuff.
Maybe that's what they think we do as well. How did
it must be a little snacking. Snack pocket, snack accident.
I did love your comment as well about the pointless year tours that never existed.
I literally had a jumper on today that said my pink one that says like Los Angeles 1952, and like I've never been to LA. I don't know what happened in 1952.
I'm sure there wasn't pink diamante skulls involved at that time.
No, absolutely not.
So come on then, you're out shopping or you're internet shopping. What is your biggest peeve? Because I know what mine is and I've said it a lot, but what is your biggest peeve about clothes shopping?
Well, see, I don't kind of fall into the category of like super feminine, I guess. Yeah, not really. So I really hate florals. I really hate owls on stuff. I hate sequins on clothes. Stuff like that. But there is a clothing company, and I don't want to upset anyone saying it, but there is a clothing company that I have such a hate for that it fills me with rage when I see it. And they used to, I don't know if they still do, but what's it called? Is it Joe Brown? Or Joe Brown?
The patchwork.
Yeah, I have such a hate. And this is if someone likes it, great, go for it.
They do good shoes because they're like a regular choice, but cheaper.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Their shoes are good. I've actually got a pair down here, and they've got like a really cool heel, and then they're like a. Do you remember the Elves and the Shoemaker, where they made shoes with the high piece at the front and the bows? Yeah, they're a bit like that.
Yeah.
But clothes-wise, no.
They just used to fill me with so much anger, and I think it was just because there wasn't any other option. That was kind of like, oh look how like quirky this is. I was like, okay, but I don't like it. Is there not something else? Is there not? No, it's just this. It's just super quirky, and it just fills me with rage.
What's the hardest thing to buy for? On your body type, what's the hardest thing to buy for on your body type?
Dresses, I think, because I've got big boobs and a big bum, a big fupa, and clothing companies don't seem to understand that my boobs are bigger than my stomach.
Yeah.
I think they just think my stomach and my boobs are the same when they're not. My boobs are massive. So like when I have if I see something that's like a button-up dress or got buttons up the front, nah.
Unless it's stitched together.
Yeah. Like this, like sort of like fake, sort of like if I want something buttoned up, it's not happening. Not happening. Just leave it be. It's not for me. Someone else can have it.
Mine's armholes.
Yeah. Oh, I hate armholes.
They never make armholes comfortable. I have
like when they do the sleeves,
stretchy fabric, because you can't get your arm in the hole that's made for a person who's a size 10.
No.
And I don't know why they don't think that actually, if you've got a bigger boob, there's a good chance your armpit hole is going to be slightly lower. But no, it's still kind of up here and tight. And the amount blazers cannot find blazers unless they're made out of stretchy fabric. And
back in the day when I used to wear like shirts, or blouses. When I went through my blouse stage in the 2000s, and like, if I see a blouse now, it gives me some kind of trauma. because I just remember how tight the band used to be around your arm, and you never knew if it was going to fit till you literally were putting it on.
I've come to learn now. It took me a long time, but I've come to learn now what I can and can't buy. And if it doesn't have any stretch or it's got a structure to it, there's no point. There's just no point.
Or if I see a zip on the side.
So tiny.
Yeah, you know, if you got a pair of trousers, if the zip's on the side, that ain't for me. It's not happening. And I'm not going to waste my time.
It's ridiculous. That's all right, because you're going to get jeggings now with zero stretch as well. Because you've got legs like drain pipes. And bras. That is my other thing. So I bought, literally the other day, I found, because I've damaged my back, I struggle some mornings to actually reach around and do a bra up.
Yeah.
I can't always rely on my partner. He works as well, or, you know, he might be having a day off, or like on Tuesday, I've got to get up at 5 in the morning to go into London. I'm not going to wake him up to help me put a bra on.
Yeah.
So I've got into front fastening. Why can they not make decent sized front fastening bras that are comfortable? I bought one the other day.
They hate us.
Well, I bought one the other day and it looks a bit like a sports bra. And I put it on and it's like a couple of minutes. I'm like, oh yeah, that's comfortable. I'll try that out. And I put it on yesterday morning and I had to get the other half to help adjust the straps because it's the first time I put it on. So that was just getting that comfortable. And I'm like, this is okay. It actually doesn't give me uni boob like sports bras usually. I actually have a crease. This is cool. I can deal with this. And I sat on the bed putting my contact lenses in, and I'm like, this is getting tighter and tighter and tighter across my back. To if I didn't get it off, it was going to put my back out.
God!
And it was the correct size. It fitted, but because the band was so thick, all it wanted to do was that. And it was like 3 or 4 minutes. It was really, really uncomfortable to wear. I don't understand when we are the types of women that needs to wear bras.
Yeah.
Why can't they come up with decent designs that actually A, are comfortable, B, fit, and C, the wires don't puck out and under your armpit after 3 washes.
See, I've given up with bras now. I wear what's called like comfort. I think call them comfort bras.
Oh right.
Because after I gave birth to my son, I think I lived in my maternity bra till he was about 1.5 because it was that comfy. And then I put like a normal bra back on, you know, underwire. Oh, I thought I was going to punch someone in the face because I was so uncomfortable. I was just like, no, I'm not doing this. I can't do it. I hate it.
It's like they don't think about the designs. I mean, I think after
at all.
You should have a really good range of front fastening bras. Because one, they're easier and they don't have to be massive, you know, the ones I've got at the moment are kind of like basque bras. So I actually made them because I didn't take that as a loose term. When I bought them, they were back do up ones, but they've got like 20 hooks and eyes. But the bra was hooks and eyes as well, with just a little bit of like stitching front and back, off top and bottom. So I cut the stitching and sewed the back together. So I've made them front fastening bras, but they shouldn't. And they're not the best, but they work. But to actually find something that's comfortable to wear, that holds you in the position to be able to wear clothes that do up properly. It's crazy.
It's impossible. It's an impossible challenge.
Yeah. And you see people in town and people will go, oh, look at her, that size not wearing a bra. I'm like, probably can't find one that fits.
Yeah. And even if we can, the cost is just astronomical.
Oh, God.
So.
Yeah. Oh, I was watching a YouTuber the other day. Oh, I bought this pack of 3 support bras for £10 in Primark. I'm like, that wouldn't even get me a cup in one of mine.
Nah.
Might get me a strap if I'm lucky.
Just one strap. You can have that for a tenner, that's it.
And one of the things I was talking about to somebody the other day, and I thought it was brilliant. And I don't know if it was you, or if it was another conversation afterwards, or whether it was a conversation that came up with a friend of mine. And it was basically about, if there is fat tax, why is a size 4 the same price as a size 12 in a mainstream shop?
Exactly.
If it's bigger, you've suddenly got to pay an extra. I mean, a plain white t-shirt in Primark, £3. Even their fair trade cotton ones, I've got some of their black ones that are really good and they wash really well. I think I've had them about 4 years. They're £5. But go into your clothing and buy or try and find a plain black t-shirt. But if you can find one and buy it, it's £15.99.
Yeah.
If they're going to fat tax bigger sizes, why is it the same for a size 4 to a size 16 or a size 18?
Exactly.
Where does that come from? And my friend actually said bras is the only thing that you actually pay more the bigger they are. The bigger the sizes, the more you pay in most stores.
I mean, it's just because, I mean, I don't know about you, but I get it so much when I talk about fast fashion of like, oh, well, it costs more because it's using more material. I was like, but not if, when I was a size 14, I didn't pay any more than my friend who's a size 8.
But you should be.
We would pay the same.
Mentality. Yeah.
Yeah. So how then is it then justified from a certain size? How did that justification come in? Like, right, okay, well, from size 16 or whatever, then we're going to start charging extra because it uses extra material. And it's like, no, for one, it doesn't even work like that anyway. But for two, you can't pick and choose who you're going to charge more for just because you don't like them. That's not how it should be.
What are they going to do? I mean, the average UK size now is an 18. So what are they going to do? Are they just going to stop making clothes for us? Are we all going to be running around naked in the streets and getting arrested?
The way things are going, yeah.
Imagine.
The anarchy.
What advice would you give for anyone who's struggling to find clothes at the moment? Putting you on the spot. You shouldn't have to be, but you do have to be kind of patient with it. I think it's important to find and accept what clothes you're comfortable in. So it took me a long time to accept the fact it was okay that I don't like florals because I'm a woman. And I've sort of found my style, so I kind of know what to look for. But it is a case of being patient. Some days you're gonna go onto ASOS or yours or whatever and find loads of stuff you like. Other times you're going to go on and find nothing. And it's the same with, I've started using Vinted. I'm trying to buy all my clothes. I'm trying to create a capsule wardrobe. Yeah. So I don't have those stresses anymore. And most of it I'm trying to get from like Vinted. And it's the same sort of thing. Some days you'll go on and there's loads of stuff and I'm favoriting everything. And then other times there's just nothing. And it's just the same sort of tunics over and over and over again. So it is a case of, but I've been looking on Depop and that's kind of the same thing. You'll go on there and I've looked at Killstar stuff that maybe is older Killstar that was better size. And I've looked on there and there's been 20 or 30 Killstar items and you put in Killstar 4XL again and there's nothing.
Yeah. So you do have to kind of accept the fact that it is a bit of a mission, and it's easier to find clothes when you've got a specific thing that you're after. Yeah. Because I'll literally, like, I'm looking for a black t-shirt, so I'll literally type in black t-shirt size, whatever size I'm looking for. Yeah. And it's just kind of just having that patience because you'll need it.
And it's stupid because we shouldn't have to have that patience.
No, I mean, we shouldn't have to at all.
eBay, even Amazon, and you can put in UK size 8 black dress and you'll have hundreds, thousands. Yeah. But you put on UK size, I don't know, 24 black dress and you get like 2. And they're probably maxi dresses with straps that actually when you get them, they're this big.
Or they're tiered or something.
What is that thing with the smock and the tiered dresses where they like to put that line on the hip?
Yeah, that's really popular at the minute, isn't it?
Like the hip.
That seems to be the latest sort of we're trying to be fashionable for you sort of effort, I feel.
But you could still cut a bigger skirt and have a seam that doesn't make it smaller. I've always found I can't wear those types of skirts, because unless they're full circle skirts and the tier is at the bottom, they literally come in and cut under my belly, and they look awful.
Yeah. I think height depends on it, because they don't take into any consideration for height either. There seems to be this disbelief that you can't be fat and tall, but you also can't be fat and short. And it's like, well, is there a standard height I'm meant to meet?
Well, I'm 5'7" and I struggle. It's either too short or too long. There's no. Yeah. I'm kind of ground average for a woman, and there's nothing. It's ridiculous. Yeah. The trousers I got from ASOS were so long. It was like, no.
Well, I got a pair of trousers from Vinted. I think they arrived, what day on Sunday? Yeah, Friday. But they're originally from ASOS. And it was supposed to be like those sort of cargo paper bag style trousers. Now, as soon as I lifted them up, I'm like, I know why they put these on Vinted. I could tell straight away. The legs are massive, but yet I can only just fasten it around my stomach. To the point, it's like I instantly knew I'd never wear these trousers again because they're so uncomfortable. But I'm like, why is there so much space in the leg? But yet the waistband, you've just given up halfway through.
I found the only pair of trousers, because I quite like a wide leg trouser, because I've got a damaged leg from a fall, and because I've got really big thighs and I've got really big calves from being a cross-country swimmer and a dancer. I don't like. I can't wear jeans. I mean, I don't even own a pair of jeans. It's just, don't even try.
Yeah.
But I quite like, I get into these things of liking really wide leg, like palazzo pants style trousers. And I found were from Simply Be, and they're actually beach trousers.
No way.
Thin beach trousers, but they've got pockets. I mean, for Christ's sake, they've got pockets. But there's one topic we've not discussed, which I really think we need to, which is the plus size jumpsuit. I have one and I love it. And I've tried over the years several types of jumpsuit, and I found one, and it was on Simply Be, and I've worn it once so far. And it's a wide leg, so it kind of hangs.
Yeah,
I would turn my just over my belly, and then it's got a tie that comes under the boobs, which is great, and then it hangs so it doesn't get your belly apron or whatever they want to call it these days.
Yeah,
but why do they make the necks that big? Because I went out in it for one day and I had to use a public toilet and it ripped.
No.
Yeah, so where they've done the that stupid little button that they all think we can do with the elastic loop.
Yeah.
They put that in it, and then they put a keyhole probably that size.
And
the neck hole was about that big. And okay, it was stretchy jersey, but it actually ripped at the bottom where they'd done the seam, ripped about that much. So I've actually now had to re-seam the keyhole at the back. So now, because I wear a cross-backed bra, I've got a multi-way and I wear it cross-back to find it more comfortable. It now shows my bra at the back, which it didn't previously. And I've had to actually stitch about that much of the fabric at the back because it ripped.
Oh my gosh.
First wear. Why do they make jumpsuits for bigger people but don't give us the space to get into them?
It's like a form of torture. It's like, do you know what? How can we make life just that teeny tiny little bit more difficult for plus size people? It's the same with any kind of issue we have with plus size clothing. There's no thought that goes into it. There's no thought behind it. There's no thought of like, okay, well, bigger bodies will have different shapes or different heights and all the rest of it. It's literally this sort of like performative, size inclusive thing where they're like, oh, let's just dump a whole load of stuff out without measuring it on plus size people, without modeling it on plus size people. So then it looks like to the public we're doing our part for body positivity, when in reality it's not. We're barely even an afterthought. They're just trying to cash in on something that's picked up some momentum over the couple of years. There's no thought, no care behind any of it.
I mean, they don't even think about the size of changing rooms, do they? I mean, I was going to ask a question about whether you preferred shopping online or in store, but as we know, there are no stores to shop in.
Yeah.
But even when there were, even when I was a bit smaller and I could shop in like the New Look plus size range, which seems to have disappeared completely from the high street. I think there's only about 1 or 2 places that I know of that do it. I found that Yours Clothing has disappeared from the high street to the point where the one in my town has gone. I went to one in Bristol and they said, oh yeah, well, if you need to return it, you need to drive to Bristol, which is 45 miles from my house, plus parking, so that's fuel and everything. Or I'd have to travel 60 or 70 miles to the other 2 closest stores because they're gone. They just don't exist. I mean, the store was trash anyway. That's a whole different podcast. But even when you get into store, the changing rooms are tiny. They're blasting out hot air. The curtains don't even close. I mean, I've been into a Primark where the curtains have closed more and had more excess fabric than in a plus size store. It's almost like, well, it's a bigger door width to get your ass through, but the curtain's going to be the same size, love. Don't worry about it. It's like, you know, what I would ask you what you prefer, but it's a bit difficult now to even shop in store, I find.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, I mean, I can't even remember the last time I went into a shop and bought an item of clothing for myself. I honestly can't remember. I mean, obviously the pandemic's had an effect on that.
Yeah.
But even when I go to town now, I mean, I live close to Manchester city centre, so I've still got the plus size section in New Look, and we've still got a Yours Clothing. But it's just...
But that's 2 shops and how many hundreds?
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't even waste my time, I don't think, because you go in places like that, and like you say, they don't think that things could be different for us. So the changing rooms are the same size, all the rest of it. And I think there's that whole mentality of like, you're made to feel that if you're not embarrassed about your body, well, then you should be.
Yeah.
These stores make it, and then like, you know, you get all this patronizing stuff for it, and like, oh, embrace your curves. It's like, well, I have. It's you. It's not.
You just haven't supplied for my curves.
Yeah. I remember years ago. What was it? Was it a Miss Selfridge? I think it was one in Chester. The changing room was just one big open room. So you didn't have individual
the trauma of PE showers.
And this was in the early 2000s, which we all know that was horrific anyway. So I wasn't as big then as I am now, but I was still considered to be like plus size, or at least the bigger size of the smaller sizes, if you will. I wouldn't ever do it. I wouldn't go in it. And even if I did used to fit into stuff in the high street, I'd still have that thing of like the way that how small the cubicle would be anyway, but then you'd go in and it'd be mirrors on every side, and it literally got to the point where if I was going to try something on, I'd have to just take a breath before I go in, because I knew it would be like mirror, 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 look at yourself. And I get it, it's a changing room, but it was just like, look at your body, look at your body. It's
like Trinity and Susanna moment, 360 mirror.
Yeah. And it was like, no, I don't want that, mate. I don't want it. But you'd get it anyway. It'd be forced down your throat that you'd have to look a certain way. And even in these places like Yours, where it's supposed to be catered for people like us, it's still not. It's still, they're still lacking. They're still doing a bare minimum. Tiresome.
I stopped trying on clothes in stores after I got thrown out of a changing room, because I went into, I can't remember where it was, but they had 7 changing rooms, and the big bottom one was a double size.
Right.
At the time, I had seriously damaged my back, so if I wanted to, I was at the point of, if I wanted a disabled bag, I could go and get one. I could even now, but I don't do it on purpose because I can walk, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But I went into the changing room purely because I hate being closed in. I hate being claustrophobic. And if I can do that and touch the walls, it's not big enough.
Yeah.
It was fairly empty. And I went into the bigger changing room. And I had a shop assistant ask me to remove myself because that was for mothers and babies. And I said, well, I get that you've got a bigger changing room for mothers who need to put their prams in there. I wouldn't want to leave a child if I had one unattended.
Yeah.
I get that. But I am in the middle of getting changed. Can you at least let me finish trying these items on, and then I'll be out of your hair? And she went, no, can you get dressed again, please, and move to a different changing room? And I went, how about I get changed and never darken your doorstep again? Which is exactly what I did. I got changed. I left everything in the changing room, picked up my bag and left the store. And as I left, she was stood at the front, and her friend turned around and went, well, looking at the size of her ass, no wonder she needed the bigger changing room. I went, and you have just lost a customer. Thank you very much.
What shop was that?
I can't remember. Can't remember when it was. I think
that's awful.
I think it was before they did the shop refit, and I think it was Matalan.
Oh, see, why am I not surprised?
Matalans, and it was just like, I get it. You've got a double one. If somebody needs to put a pram in, I get it. That's what it's there for. But it should be accessible to bigger people as well. I probably could have changed in one of the smaller ones. If it's a bit like me, I can't have a shower curtain. I can't stand in any shower that has a shower curtain, because the whole thought, you know, when you put the water on and it comes and attacks you.
Yeah, and it comes into.
No, it's too much.
Yeah.
It's an absolute overload of claustrophobia, and I can't cope with it.
Yeah.
But why can't they make all changing rooms big enough to put a kid and a buggy in? Why can't they?
I mean, you've got to think as well from like an accessibility point of view. That's not it.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, I've been a mother with young children and a buggy, and I wouldn't expect there to be a bigger changing room for that. I'd expect there to be a bigger changing room for bigger people. Obviously, people who need a bigger space, like accessibility, whether it's in a wheelchair or like yourself that would struggle with that sort of thing. That's what it should be, not, oh my God, that's so infuriating.
And you can even say, okay, they can't put, for security reasons, they can't put cameras in changing rooms.
Yeah.
And I know that if they put, you know, not everybody in this world is dishonest, but if you could get 4 people to a changing room, you would have groups of friends that instead of 4 people lining up, they could all go and change together, because they're probably all changing together to go on a night out anyway. Me and my best mate would probably share a changing room because that's what we like. But they do it so as, oh, well, you can't mix stuff if you go in on your own. Yeah, you can. It's easy. But well, I've never done it, but it's pretty.
I've done it. Just say it.
It is hard. But to have this whole just one large changing room, what if you've got a row of mothers or expectant mothers or somebody who's pregnant who needs that extra space? Are they going to get shoved into a little cubicle as well? It's just, and it's the ones where it's, well, that's the next cubicle available. No, I'd rather wait for that one. Yeah, well, you can't. It's that one.
Yeah.
That used to infuriate me as well. I think New Look have that system where you go to the next one that they tell you can use, but they're not tiny single showers. There's just no. There's
just no thought, and it still runs with this narrative that we should just be okay with that, because we shouldn't be happy with the fact we shouldn't be comfortable with it, we should be wanting change, and it all runs on that, and that's what all these companies are hooked on, because they don't believe in any form of body positivity whatsoever.
It's
they
like
just
we're not allowed to enjoy fashion because we're bigger.
Yeah,
I watch
exactly
the runways. I take the piss out of some of the runways. I just look at some of it and go, wow, that's beautiful. There's an Instagram account called Runway Catwalks, and it will show you some beautiful things on there. And some of the models amaze me that they can walk downstairs without looking. And I'm kind of looking at how things have been put together. I'm a big designer bag whore. Let's be honest, I have quite a collection. But I look at what's coming as to what will eventually be in the stores in 4 to 5 months. When the kind of vivid pastel thing that's in at the moment happened, I was kind of cringing, going, oh God, that's going to be everywhere and I'm not going to be able to find black for a season and a half. When they did the goth kind of thing, when Prada did goth and Alexander McQueen brought back the goth, it was suddenly like, oh, now I can go on to Simply Be and get lace Victoriana style blouses and tops, and I'm going to be happy and I can buy it all up and I'm done for the next 5 years. But there just seems to be this attitude of, well, you're plus size, you don't care about fashion, just stick a tube in it and put it in neon green. It'll be fine.
You don't have a style if you're plus size. You don't have an aesthetic. You don't have anything like that if you're plus size.
You're not allowed to enjoy clothing. You're just there for function.
No.
Just
you're not allowed to be fashionable. Yeah.
So what is your last thing? I mean, are you going to keep doing your TikTok high street?
Yeah.
Take the piss, because I love them. Are you going to be putting more llamas on things as you go forward in the season?
It's just, the thing is, it's kind of like, plus size fashion is that bad. There's so much material. It's the gift I didn't want that keeps on giving. So why not? And I think it's heartbreaking that we're all made to feel like this, and it makes me angry. But I just think that if I can make people laugh about it, and we come together as a group and mock it as a whole, it just makes it that slightly bit more bearable.
It's not going to change the world, but it's easier to swallow.
Yeah. If it keeps people happy and it keeps you all entertained, then absolutely I'll keep doing it.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I hope you do, because I do find your channel really, really entertaining.
Thank you.
We would, if you ever want to come back, I'm just a click away on Instagram, because we'd love to have you back again. I will, of course, link all of your social media, so please send me all your links. I'll link it all down, because I think people who haven't heard of you need to go and watch at least your high street one, because it's hilarious. And I'm sitting there going, I know what store you've been looking at. So please keep doing what you're doing, because your channel lights up and is probably the only reason I'm still on TikTok. That and also news, because the two of you just make me giggle. So thank you very much for coming on again. I hope we can talk again soon. But as always, we're going to have to bring this one to a close. So thank you, my Ravens, for listening. And as always, as I say all the time, remember, just do you.